Hey y'all. Today we're going to take a look at the automotive safety case development framework again and see some of the new items that we have added for dependent failure analysis. And then we'll hop over to the onboarding workflow to see our aggregated item definition um, uh, extraction workflow. And you can see that now we have the ability to load the item definition from a variety of different components that are loaded into your system, which you'll see us save out of this particular safety case. So this is a previous safety case that we built in this project, the autonomous truck, for just the forward-facing camera and perception software for autonomous emergency braking. And one of the cool things is you'll be able to see as we cascade through this safety case that we appropriately read this as an L2 function. So when we cast the hazards that we consider, we only consider false positives. We don't consider false negatives, since false negatives would anyways be caught by the human backup for the L2 function, since this is an L3. Okay, so you'll see that there are some HARA items that show up here that are inappropriately parsed. So because that is loaded from the project, but we want to overwrite it, we can hit generate again, and they should come back in just a sec. And here we are, and you can see much clearer enumeration of these hazards, including the scenario and event from which they emerge. Things like camera malfunction leading to failure in object detection, so a specific type of hazard. And incorrect classification of objects leading to inappropriate brake activation. Things that directly lead to the safety goals that we'll see down below. So when we regenerate these, they'll actually have specific hazards enumerated as the sources for these safety goals. So one of the latest pieces we can see is pending generation is now derivatives from these safety goals, which are specific classes of dependent failures. So you can see we have these previous ones here. Let's load some default categories instead, and we'll remove all of these. So I know that'll take me just a sec, but you can see the three default categories of failures that we want to analyze of the safety goals, which will then influence the technical safety requirements that emerge from these. So the first is going to be freedom from interference. Second is going to be hardware random failures. And third is going to be software systematic failures. So let's go ahead and generate some of these to see what happens. And I'm going to pause for a sec because it does take a minute. And here we are. So you have a set of different failures, which we'll soon categorize into these three categories. But these will be a lot of what comes to influence the technical safety concept that we influence. So the camera lens covered by dirt or water, software bug in the perception algorithm, so on. And as always, you can review these, edit them, and as you make edits, those will cascade down into the generation of these further items. So you can see, for example, that these ones are weird. So let's actually try generating some of these technical safety requirements directly from those again. And I'll pause one more time. And here we have them, the full technical safety requirements. So some requirements around the operations of forward-facing camera, the perception software, the redundancy mechanism of the camera and the perception software, etc. And all of that eventually gets traced into our system architecture points, various implementation details, which are not present here. We just have to regenerate, V&V, and finally your safety case. So yeah, I'm obviously not actually fully doing these here because they haven't been generated properly before, but I'm going to save this anyways so far, and we can go take a look at our last piece. So I am going to hop over to this other view. I'm going to exit out of the standards analysis, even though you can get to where I'm about to go from here as well. You can see when we do this, it now takes us to the home page. The home page, as you may now remember, has all of the different actions you can undertake within Saphira. And in particular, we're going to come over to components, where we have a consistent way to come and grab import item definitions. And you can see that that safety concept we just generated is saved here. So we import item definitions, and here you can upload as many documents as you want. So we will, for example, from our example documents, upload this conflicting Halos reference document and this below NVIDIA Halos reference document. And I'll pause while I wait for it to generate. And to show you the last bit of this, you can see all of the different items with full item definitions, including function, interfaces,